We are back and better than ever. Hello, everybody, and welcome to another exciting edition of NSU SportsBeat, your official program of the Nova Southeastern University Department of Athletics. And this is your edition. I am Mike Laderman, your wacky and wild sports information director. And this, as always, is the good Dr. Pat Feely with a PhD in fantasy baseball. Pat, welcome back. We've had a little bit of a break here, haven't we?
We have.
A little time off from doing the show. People were going, when's that new one coming out? Here it is. Here it is.
Finally.
Very exciting. You know, and people would think, well, in the summer as well, this may be the only thing you have to work on. How come you didn't put one out? We've had other things to work on, haven't we?
That we have.
The office has been in mass chaos, mass array, things going crazy. What's been going on over at NSU?
Coaching changes.
Oh, big time.
We've had 4 coaches leave that were with us last year. Munga Eketebi men's soccer left late this summer to go back to FIU. Joanna Sahm left early in the summer to take a job in the business world. Abbate left from cross country, and then Larry Simon left women's tennis.
Is anybody left?
Well, Sonny Hansley.
Sonny Hansley still with us. That's good to know. And Robyn Handler, I think, as well.
Exactly.
As of this moment.
Sure.
Well, you know, we're going to go back to these 2 right now. I want to talk about the coaching changes in a little bit. Let's go to the last 2 that we just mentioned, Sonny Hansley and Robyn Handler. These 2 teams, their respective baseball and softball teams, going to the regional championships last year, and that's where we left off on this show. We left off with a big test telling everybody, grade the night, so to speak. You know, how far do you think they're going to go? If people said that they're going to win a national championship, I guess they failed the test, but they're wrong on that. But the Knights didn't fail the test, did they?
No. No.
Start off with baseball first. I mean,
baseball did great job in the regional. Played 5 games, won 3, lost 2 to the eventual champion, Bruton Parker, who was the NAIA champion. Just a great team, #1 through almost the whole season. We just came up to it against a team that was better than we were.
And they end up, the baseball team that is, ends up 2nd place in the NAIA Southeast region. The highest they've ever gone. Great year for them.
It was a great year.
Let's switch over now to the softball side of things. I mean, they come in 3rd place in the NAIA Southeast region. How'd that team do, looking back on the season?
Great season and a great regional. I mean, they went up there and won their first 2. They were in the driver's seat almost.
Including winning one of the games against top-seeded team there, University of Mobile.
Sure. Great pitching performances there. And I think that what we found out, that it's pitching and defense that wins, because all those games were low-scoring, 1-run games.
And the softball squad has everybody coming back.
They should be a team to contend with next year.
All right, so coming into this year, we look at, well, hey, baseball, softball end on a high note. This is great. Now we're going to come back in. We got Joanna Sahm's volleyball team to look forward to. Yeah, we got Munga Eketebi and his soccer team coming in. All right, we got all those guys coming back. Who else we got? Kevin Abbate. All right, he's going to take the cross-country team back. What's going on here, you know? They're gone.
They're gone, and you know, we're doing a great job to bring in some new coaches. We've got a new volleyball coach, Charyl Morgan. Tom Burke's going to take over the women's tennis program. We're looking to just about finalize a cross-country coach and a soccer coach.
All right, well, let's go on the Munga Eketebi side of things. Talk about Munga for a little bit. Here he is, a guy who comes in a year ago, replaces Thomas Rongen. I mean, we give him the boot so he could go to some little league known as Major League Soccer and coach there. Munga comes in, does a great job, takes the team to the conference championship game where we lose in overtime. Munga was a great guy to have here, wasn't he?
He certainly was. Munga's known throughout the world in soccer circles. Everyone knows, I mean, Munga, nobody knows his last name,
it's all
but
Munga.
Everyone knows Munga. And he did a great job. He's leaving the cupboard full here because he brought in some new players, and the players that he had, he really developed. This team's going to be a great team for a new coach to take over.
And only 1 loss on that team, too, as far as starters go.
Sure, so you're returning 10 guys.
But now talk about how the guys now, all of a sudden, this is, like I said, 3 coaches coming in the past 3 years. Thomas Rongen 2 years ago, he had his style of play, which was more of an offensive up-tempo. You know, you keep 3 defenders back and you play with 5 midfielders, mostly offensive. Munga comes in, plays a nice crisp passing type of game. Now we're going to have a new coach coming in this year. How does that affect the players?
Well, I think it's not going to affect them that much because they realize that the game is played on the field, and the coach is going to have to work with them and the talents that they have. So the new coach, I think, is going to have to go with the style that this team is going to play and what they're capable of playing.
Does it? Well, I'm sorry. Does it make it easier though? I mean, that all the guys are coming back. They've had a style.
Yeah, of course it does. And with them, and a lot of them have been playing together over the summer, so they know each other, and you know they're just ready to come and play. The new coach, I think, is just going to come in, get a feel for what the players can do, and go from there.
And you know, the players, we spoke to a bunch of the players at the NSU soccer complex. They pretty much agree with you. Out at the NSU soccer complex, we spoke, like we said, to a couple of the players. Here's what they had to say about their 3rd coach in 3 seasons.
emotionally preparing for a new coach, especially when this is the third one in 3 years, it's not as hard as it seems. However, you do have to adjust to, for example, coaching styles.
Emotionally, actually, it's different. I mean, every coach just has his own style.
For one, you don't know basically what to expect with the new incoming coach.
It does set us back a little bit because we got used to Munga's ways.
Just the fact that some scream, some don't. Rongen, of course, screamed beyond belief.
Thomas would get up and scream during the game, and you know, you could always hear him. Whenever you make a bad play, you can always count on turn to the left, and you hear Thomas getting up in the background. And Munga was just quiet, reserved on the bench. He said all he needed to say before the game.
Munga was a more calm type. Also, the assistant coaches are much different. Rich Williams enjoyed making us suffer by endlessly running and to the point of exhaustion, really. While Munga was more the technical type, he enjoyed drills with soccer, with the ball.
In previous years, we had a clash of different styles with Rongen doing a little bit more running in terms of preparation, preseason-wise. Munga was a little bit working with the ball.
With Thomas in particular, it was more hard-nosed, not so many X's and O's, but it was a rah-rah kind of speech before the games, and made you want to go through brick walls and, you know, leap tall buildings and things like that.
And then the different styles kind of swayed our expectations. So you may get caught up in the middle. It just means you just have to prepare yourself, you know, basically what you need as an individual in order to play the game.
You know, we seem to be fair well with both of them, and I think whoever comes in, we have the players and we have the chemistry as far as talent-wise that we'll be able to adjust. So I don't think it'd be much of a difference. It's really the players that play.
I can only look forward to the next coach. I'm sure it'll be fun.
We're not going to be too concerned about who's coaching us. We're just going to perform.
As you can tell, these guys are not phased at all about having 3 coaches in 3 years. I mean, Pat, we talked about this before, but it still amazes me. I mean, you got Thomas Rongen with his style, Munga Eketebi with his. I mean, why not be phased with this?
Because I think the team is already intact. It's not like you're going to have a new coach and 4 or 5 new players that you got to work in. We've got 10 returning starters. So with the team that's already there, they already have their own style. A lot of them have played together on the same team this summer, so they know each other and they know what they're capable of. So I think the new coach really is going to have to come in, analyze, maybe just fine-tune things a little bit, but they'll probably play pretty much the same style.
So is that all he's going to do? I mean, the guy's going to come in, he's going to say, let me see what you guys have out here, and I'm going to work my plan about yours?
I think that's what most likely will happen, because the coach also knows, all the coaches that we're bringing in have a good idea what this team is made of. They've talked to Munga, so they're aware of the team and its capabilities.
All right, so here's the thing. We have, 3 years ago, we mentioned Thomas Rongen here. He's here, that was 2 seasons ago, actually. He's here, brings the team to, they weren't at the 500 level as far as record-wise, but they win the Florida Sun Conference Championship. They go to the NAIA Southeast Regional Semifinals, and they lose a very close game to Life College. Year after that, we're still moving up. Munga Eketebi comes in, takes the team to a 12-6-1 mark, I believe it was. The team goes to the conference championship again. They lose the championship game in overtime, but we're still on that upswing. Now here we go. We have another coaching change coming in here to the men's soccer program. I mean, this team is a team that's going up, but could this be a stumbling block now? Could this knock him back down a little bit?
I don't think so, because the game is played on the field with the players, and I think the new coach that we bring in is going to be aware of that, and they know what the team is ready to do, what they've done in the past. So they just have to take them from there and just try to build a little bit what's been left to them from Thomas and Munga.
Well, I don't think anybody's worried. I mean, you don't seem worried. I don't seem worried about it. The players definitely aren't worried about it. And we spoke to the players, and we know they're not worried about it. Here's what they had to say at the NSU soccer complex.
It's not going to be a stumbling block. We're going to get much better, I believe.
I like to think it's going to make us stronger. We have a group of players here that, unlike years past, they really, truly enjoy playing the game of soccer.
Yeah, it takes a little bit more physical preparation depending on where you're going to play and in order to fit in with the coach's philosophy.
It affects us physically big time. A different coach gives us a different style of soccer.
It's not as it seems. You got to feel the coach. You got to look for what he wants, and you give it to him. You just don't ask any questions.
Whether it's a 4-4-2, 3-5-2, honestly, it doesn't make a difference because once you're on the field, it's 11 against 11. So the only thing that matters is who maintains possession of the ball most and who can put more goals in the back of the net.
The role of a coach, as far as I'm concerned, is basically to point out what's real. I mean, your roles, different styles of leaderships. Otherwise, it all basically comes down to the players on the field.
We have great potential. We're going to have a lot of skills coming back, and I don't think the coaching change is going to affect our success next year. No way.
I swear, I don't think this men's soccer team has a care in the world. I mean, they're very nonchalant about as to how everybody's coming back. They know it. I mean, they're losing just one guy, and there's not a care out there. They're just ready to get on the field and kick some butt, it seems.
That's it, and they're aware of their talent, and that talent's going to come in handy because Munga has left a tough schedule. The upcoming schedule, a lot of Division II foes. Then you throw in Flagler and St. Thomas from the Florida Sun Conference. 2 trips to Abbate to play in some top-notch tournaments. So this talent is going to come in handy because they have a tough schedule.
Oh, that's real great for the new guy coming in, too. I mean, yeah, goodbye, Munga. Thanks a lot for bringing this one to us.
Sure.
Well, you know, the only thing, it's not going to be just tough on men's soccer. It's going to be tough for women's volleyball as well. New coach coming in there. We're going to talk about Charyl Morgan right after this on NSU SportsBeat.
Written in the blood, ain't on the beat, cause I'm digging on the look, conscript, like a log in the woods, I'm a gift that you get and you get.
Lung disease and other breathing problems are the leading cause of death in infants. But thanks to the American Lung Association's efforts in research and education, more kids are able to grow up to become what they were always meant to be, a real handful. Help us fight lung disease and air pollution. Call 1-800-LUNG-USA, because when you can't breathe, nothing else matters.
It takes so little to save our rivers and oceans for future generations. If we use less toxic household cleaners, we protect a little. Fewer lawn care chemicals, a little more. And recycling used motor oil gains us so much. In fact, there are many things we can do in our everyday lives that can help stop water pollution forever. Clean water. If we all do a little, we can do a lot. Brought to you by the Natural Resources Defense Council and the Ad Councils of the U.S. and Japan.
Welcome back to round 2 of NSU SportsBeat. Mike Laderman still here with the good Dr. Pat Feely. And Dr. Pat, we just got done talking about the men's soccer position. Now, lo and behold, women's volleyball. And this is just as big as the men's soccer. I mean, volleyball program as well. On the upswing. Heck, they've been on the upswing for the past 3 years. One of the top powers, actually the past 4 years, one of the top powers in the NAIA Southeast region. In comes Charyl Morgan, new coach to take over the program. Big loss, though, Joanna Sahm. Talk about that.
It certainly is. Joanna, NAIA Southeast Region Coach of the Year 2 years ago, led the team to the regionals again this past season, did a great job recruiting some local players who are very, very talented. Great rapport with the girls. I mean, they work really hard for her, and she expected a lot out of them, and she got a lot out of them. So it is a great loss.
I mean, she, like you said, she won that title a couple of years ago. Heck, I mean, they take them to the championship game of the Southeast region 2 years ago. This past year, another great coaching job by her. You know, she brings them in, she gets them to a 14-2 record, or 12-2, I believe, in the conference, rivaling St. Thomas all the way through it. The girls were really getting to know her too. I mean, that's got to be huge as well with the class that was coming back.
Yeah, it is indeed. And Joanna, they were used to her style of coaching, style of play. So it might affect things a little more than soccer, but I'm sure Charyl Morgan will do a great job.
Well, I believe you 100%. I mean, I agree with you. This is going to be a very big loss indeed. And the players themselves, too, feel that this could be a very big loss to the program.
I think losing our coach is going to be very difficult for a lot of us because we were really close to her, but I think that we can overcome it because there's so many of us returning.
Well, it is going to be pretty rough losing Joanna because she's been with me since my freshman year as our assistant coach, and then our head coach my sophomore and junior year. And but it's good for her. I mean, she's moving on to something big and better maybe, and you know, I just want to wish her luck.
Things will be a lot different without Joanna. She took us to regionals, which was very good, and hopefully our new coach will take us to nationals.
No doubt it's a very big loss losing Joanna Sahm, but hey, Charyl Morgan's coming in, Dr. Pat, and this person has very similar credentials to Joanna Sahm.
She does indeed. Both Joanna and Charyl, successful players at the Division I level. Charyl played at the University of Texas at Arlington. I think they had great records the both years she was there.
She led them to 2 conference championships.
Sure. Also in the Miami-Dade Hall of Fame, so that speaks for itself.
Yeah,
she was
back
a great
in
player,
81, sure.
Great player there. Cheryl also coached at the Division I level at Southwest Louisiana, where she took a team with a losing record, and the next year, took them up to over 500 or right about 500. So she's been successful at that level.
All right. So how much can this help the Lady Knights volleyball team? I mean, the Mighty Knights coming back after this great tradition. In comes a new coach. It's pretty much the same type of person. Hopefully the same type of style. Is that going to help them out?
I think it will indeed. It'll make the transition easier dealing with someone who's been a player, who knows how it is to play the game, not far removed from playing at the Division I level, you know, has that credibility factor.
I got to agree with you. It's going to be sort of like not even missing a beat at all. And, you know, the nice players, we spoke to them, they don't think they're going to miss a beat either.
Yeah, I think her being young and all and having some of the same qualities as Joanna is going to help us out as a team because we can always go to her and talk to her.
Yes, well, Cheryl does have the same type of resume. She's had a lot of experiences coaching D1 and also playing in D1. I mean, her resume looks great, but I guess we'll see when she comes out and coaches us to see how she really is.
I think it's going to help us that the new coach is going to be like Joanna. She's young, she's played D1, she's coached D1 also, which hopefully she'll teach us some new strategies, and hopefully we'll be able to beat St. Thomas this year.
All right, so we talked about Munga Eketebi leaving the men's soccer team. We talked about Joanna Sahm leaving the women's volleyball team. Well, now let's talk women's tennis. Larry Simon gone from the women's tennis team, but in we have Tom Burke, coach over at Broward Community College for 22 years, now over at Nova Southeastern. Welcome aboard, Tom.
Oh, thank you.
Why did it take you 22 years to get over to Nova Southeastern?
Well, it's a long walk.
Yeah, long walk, right across the street. What brought you here? Let's talk about these circumstances. I mean, 22 years at Broward Community College. Now all of a sudden you're at Nova Southeastern. Why Nova?
Well, the challenge of it, certainly. The idea that I would have a chance to have some kids for 4 years. For 22 years, I've always felt a little bit cheated. I had them for the first 2 and kind of got them started on their path, as it were, and I never really saw them probably at their best.
So you'd build the players up and then ship them out so everybody else
Almost,
could win their 4-year national titles after you get through with them.
Many times that was true.
Oh, that's very nice of you. All right, so talk about the years at Broward Community College. I mean, 22 years. First of all, did you ever think you'd leave there?
No, not really. I didn't think, I wasn't really looking to leave. Several years back I had, as everyone does, you kind of see what's out there. But this kind of fell in my lap, and as you mentioned, when Larry leaving, he mentioned, why don't you throw your name in the hat over at Nova? And I did, and here I am.
Well, you're still teaching at Broward Community College.
Correct.
So you still got your ties there. But
Correct.
As far as tennis goes, did you think you'd be retiring there, especially
Yes,
after
I did.
more than 2 decades?
Correct. Yeah. I thought that would be my last coaching job anyway, and probably last teaching job.
Okay, so now you're swinging on over right across the street to Nova Southeastern. We made sure that we kept you in the area.
Good.
You didn't have to drive too far. Coming in, you're going to be able to bring in the same type of players. Are we going to see you bringing maybe some things over from Broward Community College? How's that going to work, especially with your ties to the community colleges like you have?
Right. Well, I've called several of the coaches that I know throughout the nation and told them of my move, and I said, now I'm on the other side of the fence, so I'll be looking for some of their players rather than fighting them to get that player. Now I can be their friends.
Yeah, they're good friends.
They're good friends, correct.
All right, so hopefully we'll be getting now the players that you used to be giving up.
Right, hopefully so. I'm looking forward to that, and whoever takes over the Broward program, that'll be kind of hopefully a feeder system.
Let's talk about your resume a little bit now.
Right.
The resume that you bring over from Broward Community College, you have a national championship that you won 2 seasons back. You have many 4th place finishes, 3rd place finishes. You have many players that have won. How's that going to help here, with all that experience?
Well, I really feel that I know what it's going to take to, get that job done, and I can, help the kids, and I can certainly, hopefully, bring the right type of player in here that'll get us to the next level, as they say.
Well, I'll tell you, the players that we have here at Nova Southeastern, the ones that are coming back, they've seen your resume, they're very eager to get going under you, and I think everybody else is very eager as well. The players that we spoke of, the women's tennis team, we spoke to them at the Recplex. Here's what they had to say about their new tennis coach.
I'm very excited to have Tom Burke come into our team as a coach. I've competed against him for 2 years at Miami-Dade, so I see what kind of competitive nature he has, the tough attitude out there. It seems like he brought a lot out in his team at BCC, so I'm sure he can do a lot with us skillfully.
I'm very excited to hear that Tom Burke's coming to Nova next year. He has great qualifications. He's won the national championship 2 years ago, and he's been there several times. He's a wonderful guy off the court and on the court, from what I've heard. He can teach us a lot, and hopefully we'll have a winning season next year. I'm pretty sure we will.
Back with Tom Burke, the new women's tennis coach at Nova Southeastern University. Tom, eager to get going this year now?
Oh, definitely. I have to learn some of the path to follow, but yeah, very eager and a little bit scared, but that's good.
Well, we're looking forward to having you on board, too. Welcome aboard to Nova Southeastern University. We have to say welcome aboard to more coaches as well, that being cross country. We'll get right to it right after these messages on NSU SportsBeat.
Someone out there needs help, and you've decided to save them. Every year, thousands of people die waiting for organ and tissue transplants. To be a donor, even if you've signed something, you must tell your family now so they can carry out your decision later. Otherwise, it's like throwing a 12-foot rope to someone who's 15 feet away. Share your life. Share your decision.
Which child deserves to be read to? This one? Or is it this one? Which child will learn to use a toothbrush? Who will have a chance to sing? The choice is yours. Volunteer for Head Start. With your help, more low-income preschool children can get what other children already have. Change the world of a child, and you change the world.
Who's working to make sure that all babies grow up to be healthy kids? Please, join our campaign for healthier babies.
Welcome back to round 3 of NSU SportsBeat. Mike Laderman still here, back with the good Dr. Pat Feely. Dr. Pat, welcome back, sir. Hope you enjoyed your little time off. We're still talking about the same thing, Pat, because there's a lot to talk about with this thing. We lost soccer, we lost volleyball, we lost tennis, we lost cross country. Kevin Abbate gone on to bigger and better things. You knew Kevin, I mean, as good as anybody else. Tell us about Kevin, how big a loss this is going to be.
It's a great loss to the program. Kevin is certainly a great athlete, probably one of the better athletes in South Florida. He does it all, you know, distance running, biathlon, triathlon. He's into mountain biking, so there's very little that he's not involved in. Great asset to the department as a coach, cross country. You know, he trained with the kids, trained hard, got along with them so well. I mean, took them to the Nationals 2 years in a row, just this past season as a team. First time that ever happened, so his loss is going to be felt.
And he was a young guy, too. I mean, 27, 28 years old, coming into a college-level program. That had to help as well, the program, didn't it?
Yeah, he was able to relate to the runners, and, I mean, from a runner, you know, running with him, you know, the daily grind of having to be out there on the road running, so he got along great with the team.
So he'll be missed?
He will indeed.
Yeah, I think the players are going to miss him. I mean, I know the people in the office are going to miss him, but the players especially, they're going to miss him because of the closeness that they had. We spoke to some of the players over at the Recplex and behind the admin building here at NSU. Here's what they had to say about losing Kevin Abbate.
Well, I think Kevin Abbate was an excellent coach. He trained us very well. And last season, as everyone knows, we took a full guys team to Wisconsin and 2 girls from the girls team. And hopefully this season we will do just as well.
Kevin was amazing. He knew his stuff. He varied the workouts to make them interesting, and yet it made us stronger runners. We did sprint workouts, we did distance runnings, we biked, we did everything, and it just made the team a lot stronger and more dedicated.
Kevin Abbate is, like you said, he's a great runner. He used a lot of his ability to help coach us. He's very straightforward. He gets to the point, which makes him such a successful coach. His experience in the community has really rubbed off on Nova's team, and that's why we're so successful thus far.
All right, so let me get this straight now. We got new men's soccer coach coming in. We have a new volleyball coach coming in. We have a new women's tennis coach coming in, and we have a new cross-country coach coming in.
You got it.
Am I forgetting anybody?
No.
We're still coming back, right?
As far as I know.
All right, we're going to be coming back. Not right now, though. We're wrapping this show up. It's history. Hey, for Steve Luschel, for Victor, for the rest of the NSU SportsBeat gang, I'm Mike Laderman. This is Dr. Pat Feely, and this has been NSU Sports Beat. We'll see you next time. Be good.